Hey everyone, welcome back to this week's edition of the Maconi Setup Shop A-Fix Tutorials. Today we are going to go over a very demanding Charlotte Roval, so strap in and let's get to it. Biggest thing to touch on, just like every other road course, is your inputs. Trying to do all of your braking and shifting before the corner. I like to do as little shifting as possible. So for turn one, in particular, I feel like you have the option to switch between second and third gear, but me personally, I feel like as you shift to third gear, you're pretty much coming right back into second gear already. So I like to just bounce off the chip, use the engine to help slow me down. It gives up a little bit of time, but I don't think it's anything too significant. But the option is there if you feel like you want to shift into third, get that little extra gap, and then shift down into second for your braking. That is an option too. On the back straightaway, I'm pretty much as soon as I feel like the whole car is on the flat is when I start braking. So either at the 5 marker or just before it. I find that if I go any deeper than that, I get really, really loose. Uh, Exiting NASCAR turn 4, very, very important to stay on the blue line at the bottom of the racetrack. Even if you're a quarter of a car length higher in that corner, you start catching those grooves and ruts in the racetrack, and it makes getting on the brakes and shifting incredibly difficult. Okay, so it's very important to paint that line down in NASCAR 3 and 4 when you're setting up for that final chicane. Otherwise, it can get really, really bouncy. Okay, just wanted to point that out. Here in turns 5 and 6, I like to shift before that first right-hander that you see. I know some guys can hold third gear up the hill and then shift for turn 6. I personally don't like doing that. That's why I shift sooner. Just want to touch on exiting onto NASCAR turn 1. I like to make this as big of a turn as I can. I don't think it's worth straightening up here and then setting up, so I like to make it a big turn. And then this is what we're aiming for. We're trying to get as close as we can to these tire barriers, okay? That way you can get the straightest exit you can for NASCAR 1 and carry a lot more momentum. For this video, I'm going to do all 3 of these laps on the outside camera, and then I'll go back for lap 3 so that you guys can get the in-car camera. With this being a road course, most road courses, as you guys know, you typically get faster and faster as the run goes on. I found when I did 15 laps earlier in one of the other sessions. That's the most that I've been able to do. But I didn't necessarily find that I went faster, but I was able to stay within my maximum potential the entire time. So I was hitting anywhere between mid threes to low twos. I don't think I hit any ones, but I was able to be consistent in those low twos to lower to mid threes the entire time. Uh, with the race length, you're not going to be pitting for fuel. So if you pit, it's most likely because you had damage. So you're not going to have to worry about tires at all. Okay. Again, the biggest thing that I can stress to you guys is just doing all of your shifting and braking before the corner. Make your life as simple as you can, and then wait for the car to be pointed straight before you get full throttle, and just be careful when you're getting on the gas, because if you get on the gas too fast or too hard with a lot of wheel input, you're going to find yourself getting out of control really quickly. The other thing, it's okay to use the rumble strips, but you want to avoid these turtles. Uh, you don't want to catch too much of the turtles. If you catch too much of the red ones and you start bouncing off the blue turtles, you're really going to get out of shape. So it's very important that you use the rumble strips and try to use as little of the turtles as you can. Okay. That was the exterior view of our fastest laps. What I'm going to do is I'm going to restart this lap, and we're going to switch to the in-car camera so that you guys can get the in-car perspective for when you guys run your laps here. Okay, guys. Again, one little reminder, like I mentioned earlier, for turn one, as you can see in this video, I was just staying in second gear. I do think if you really wanted, you could shift into third gear. I think it's an option, but again, as you shift into third gear, you're only going to get maybe another car length out of it before you really need to be on the brakes and then shift back into second, which is why I've left it in second gear this entire time. I just want to make sure that you guys are aware that it is an option. If you're comfortable doing it, great. If not, you know that you can just stay in second gear, okay? Uh, Once again, I'm not the fastest road course racer on the sim. I know that my goal is to limit mistakes and not give yourself any time penalties, right? That way you can try to be the most consistent you can, uh, not giving away any unnecessary time and staying on the racetrack so that you can get the best finish that you possibly can. Okay, that'll do it for this week's video. If you did find this video helpful, please consider leaving a like. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please leave a comment down below and we will get back to them as soon as we can. And last but not least, if you're not already subscribed, please consider hitting that subscribe button and ringing that notification bell so that you can see these tutorial videos every Monday from Maconi Setup Shop once they're posted. All right, guys, have a great week. Best of luck to you on the track, and we will see you out there. Take care.